Let's wait for everybody to gather in. Yeah, people might not see this till later because I had work. But I still was going to drop the video after I got off. I'm loyal to the knowledge. So, we're talking about the cosmic serpent, aka Kundalini force. And we're going to be talking about Tiamat. I learned, I noticed a lot of similarities in all of the characters that I listed. So, decided to do a whole presentation and do it on live. And it's crazy because this upload has been given to me, but I haven't been able to I haven't been able to actually put the action into the study that I've been doing. All of my studying has been in my notebooks. Come on, where the people at? Let me put my green screen on. Yeah, that thing is beautiful. Oh, I like that. Yeah, I like that one. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna go get started. What and who is the cosmic serpent? So let me turn this off real quick. All right, hopefully, hold on. All right. What and who is the cosmic serpent? So we're gonna be going over what is the mythological history of the cosmic serpent. Who is Tiamat and why was she destroyed by Marduk? And did the publishers of history depict their gods as saviors? How is indigenous people's very DNA connected to the cosmic serpent, also known as the Kundalini force? And you could tell it's connected in some way because I put the DNA helix right there, the double helix. You got the snake. And, you know, that's the cosmic egg right there. That's the Kundalini around the earth. And you see that helix right there? Inside of it is the same. So, the historical evidence on the cosmic serpentine, it dates back to, you could go actually find texts in it that dates back to 2000 BCE before Christ exists, in texts such as Sumerian texts, Greek, and Indian texts. But let's be clear, the mythology or the oral story of the cosmic serpent dates back further than man. When we acknowledge the Kemetic, which is, you know, also known as the Egyptian, you know, ancient Egyptian history, or widely known as the ancient, you know, we could also find evidence. Sorry, I started reading the same thing. You could also find, I'm trying to look on the phone and shit. You could also find evidence in Mesoamerican mythology on the cosmic serpent. And then I put a little like thing right here that I looked up. What the cosmic serpent, you know, when you first look it up, this is what it represents: a powerful symbol in Mesoamerican culture. It serves as a multifaceted representation of life, death, and renewal. So when you really see the cosmic serpent, not all the time is it like this. You be seeing it eat itself in a circle sometimes, and you see like a snake eating its tail. So that's another one that you'll see. But hold on. So these are the ancient texts and traditions that feature the cosmic serpent or the world serpent. And you can look in, I don't know how to say none of those words, so I ain't even gonna try. You could look in Greek mythology and Hindu, and in the Hinduism, Kundalini Shakti. So that's why I got the Kundalini force. In Hinduism, the Kundalini Shakti is a primordial cosmic energy known as the serpent power, which is the fundamental life force and supreme spiritual energy. So in Hinduism, they basically acknowledge this force that's actually within you. It's in your spine, and it travels up your spine into your neocortex, into your brain, and it activates. Thus, you become more aware. And I don't know how to say that. Sessa is a cosmic serpent or world serpent representing the principle of the universe. And then in here is a serpent or dragon biting its own tail, representing cyclical time, eternity, and interconnectedness of the universe. I ain't gonna read the rest of this because it's talking about Milky Way. So let's go back. So we know where y'all could look at all of this. You can go into the Hinduism. These are the actual texts you could actually find, proof of and resonance of this story, not just pulling it out my ass. And these are the mythology. The mythologies you can find them in is Kemetic, Egyptian, or Mesoamerican. You could look in mythology if you're into that. So if you want actual proof in history, go this route, the Hinduism and all of that. But if you a type of person who, you want to look at the mythology, the oracle, the stories that was told that, scientists really, they iffy about, but you would look at the Egyptian and the Greek. So next, what is the cosmic serpentine's connection to humanity? Why am I bringing this up? Why are we talking about this? What does the Kundalini force, what does that force that's in your spine traveling up to your brain have to do with us as a humanity today, right now? What does this have to do with everything I'm bringing up? The cosmic serpent is often attributed to the very blueprint of life, especially when we focus in and hone in on the relationship between our DNA helix. So this has relation to us because it's related to the indigenous people's helix, DNA helix, our coding, our DNA coding. So this cosmic serpent, that Kundalini force that's within your body, and let me go to it because we got the actual, oh my bad, y'all. I thought I had the thing here. Let me see. Yeah, I ain't got it, but I thought I added it on here. I had the actual proof of what the place was called in your spine. But I'm gonna go back and post that in the comments or somehow post it. So anyway, it's related to your DNA, indigenous people's DNA. It's related to your coding, your genetic coding. That's why it's important, because this is what the awakening is. The awakening, the spiritual shit, the end of the world, the end of the system, the revolution, all of this shit is the Kundalini force. Damn, I ain't mean to hit my TV so hard, but but look, that's what it's about. Everything is about you awakening that inner serpentine. And you see this serpentine with full of colors. It's in the cosmos, it's in the universe, and it's like, going around. It's swerving into, you see that 8, it's swerving into different ways. That's us. And you can see it similarly. So it's important that we recognize it because it's everywhere. Like you see it right here in the medical symbol, the Kundalini force of 2 snakes, and they wrapping around each other, and they got wings and it's around a pole. This is also connected to, mythology as well, a story as well in Greek mythology. Boom. And what is our next one? Tiamat. All right. Y'all, sorry about that shit. My shit all out of order. All right. So what does this have to do with Tiamat and Apsu? Because Tiamat is the cosmic serpent. Tiamat is the cosmic serpent, and I'm gonna show you how. She's the goddess of the primordial water, specifically salt water, associated with knowledge, fundamentals of life, interconnectedness of all things. When we first looked up the cosmic serpent, it had the same thing, interconnectedness of all things. And this is her partner, Apsu, god of primordial water, specifically fresh water, and the parent of the younger gods, Lahamu and Lamu. So this is Lamu and then this is Lahamu. And sorry if I ain't pronouncing that right. I'm just learning this myself as well. So let's go back to the other one. All right. So the birth of a new gene of gods. Tiamat and the cosmic serpent, aka the cosmic serpent, and Apsu are the first primordial beings, meaning that they were existent from the beginning of creation, are first created. Tiamat and her consort Apsu, they created the first generation of gods. And that's what I meant by Lahamu and Lamu. So they created these gods by mingling, you know, and you could find remnants of the origin story in Babylon mythology. So if you look in Babylon mythology, you can see the story of Tiamat and Apsu, or Kemetic mythology, and you can see all of this remnants when you look inside of that history. Damn, man, I'm not water. So they mingled with each other. Their waters, the fresh water, which is Apsu, he's the fresh water, and Tiamat, she's the salt water. So their waters, Tiamat and Apsu's water, intermingled with each other's, and they created children, which these children are also known as primordial beings because they was made before the Anunnaki. So these are the Anunnaki, the predecessors to the Anunnaki. So we're going to zoom in on them because they're not talked about. You can't find that much information on these beings. So the Lahamu is the feminine counterpart of Lamu. These are twin children of Tiamat and Apsu, who are known to be born out of primordial chaos. Waters are the chaos of creation. These deities are described as silt or serpents. And silt, I looked that up, that means sand, dirt, or sediment that's slightly smaller than sand. So they was looked at as sand. And if you know anything about, you know, if you read all different types of texts and information in religious texts, you will understand that, you know, the first people, Adam and them, was created from dirt and, you know, type shit. So that reminded me of these beings just basically being, you know, maybe earthling beings or something, because they created out of dirt, and dirt only comes from earth. That only makes sense. But they also seen as being serpents as well. So these deities, after Tiamat and Apsu created these beings, Lahamu and Lamu, these beings, Lamu and Lahamu, then created Anshar, the sky, and Kishar, the earth. So these beings then created the earth and the sky in deities though. And these deities, Anshar and Kishar, created the sky god Anu, and that's where the Anunnaki come in. So Anu then proceeded to father Enki and Enlil. Anu is the sky god of Enki and Enlil and the Anunnaki bloodline. So the Anunnaki are genetically modified offspring from the original creator, Tiamat. So they're genetically modified. They're not primordial beings. They're Anunnaki, Enlil, Enki. These are all younger gods. These are all children compared to this Tiamat and Apsu. That's what I found out. So we got the consort. Let's go into their death. So we go into their death. How did these beings die? The death of the primordial beings. So the primordial beings, which I already told y'all, is Apsu and Tiamat, also known as the cosmic serpent, also known as the Kundalini force, the Kundalini energy. These primordial beings found the younger gods, which were created by Lahamu and Lamu. The younger gods are the Anunnaki. The Anunnaki are descendants of the Lahamu. All right? So they found them to be disruptive and noisy. In other words, the younger gods were chaotic and had no order. Hold on, I need some water. Y'all gotta hold on. Shit, I see y'all. I don't see how people talk for long periods of time. And I'm doing it off the strength of getting off work too. All right, so these younger gods was noisy, disruptive, chaotic, and they had no order. In all of the cosmos, they had no order. They was noisy, and the primordial beings, especially Apsu, he found this very disruptive and annoying. So Apsu plotted to destroy the younger gods, who are the descendants of the Lahamu and Lamu, right? Which are the Anunnaki. Enki, also known as, I think it's called Ea, he intervened between Apsu's plot, and he used the deep sleep spell. Now, before I even, hold on. Before I even go on to my next spot, what type of person, what type of being puts another being in a sleep state or a sleep spell? Like, think about these primordial beings, right? That has to be dark magic if you're putting somebody to sleep or in a sleep spell. You know, even if I feel like Apsu had the right to assert himself by telling the younger descendants, like, they noisy, they don't got no order. Think about it. You created something. You and your wife created something, or you and this feminine energy, you know, because we can't even personify them. They're cosmic beings. So you and a feminine energy and a masculine energy created something, right? And then there's chaos going on, but throughout the cosmos, because of descendants of primordial beings, which are the Anunnaki, they basically started fighting and being chaotic. So the ancient beings was like, hold on, chill out. Like, we didn't make all of this for y'all to, we didn't take our time to make y'all. Our waters didn't mingle. The salt and fresh water didn't mingle for y'all to create and stir up more problems. So I feel like Apsu and Tiamat had the right to be like, you know what? I'm about to take y'all ass. I brought you in this world. I'm about to take you out this world. But, you know, where did you get this sleep spell? Who taught you that? You know? Like, it seems like Apsu was blindsided by this. And this is his, like, great-great-grandson, it would be, or, you know, descendant. So who taught you the sleep spell? Why are you so... That just seems deceitful. But I just had to say that before I get back on to the presentation. So, Enki put Apsu in a deep sleep, and he then killed him and took his place. And that's what I'm saying. You had to kill him, put him in a sleep spell, kill him, and then take his place. Something about that seemed malicious. I'm just not even gonna lie to you, bro. I'm just not gonna lie to you. Something seems malicious about that. You had to do all, that's a 3-step thing. You had to put him to sleep, kill him, and take his place. Like, as if putting him to sleep wasn't enough. You couldn't just put him to sleep and leave him asleep. But nah, you had to kill the nigga, and you had to take his place. That seems crazy. It seems like you been one of his place. You been plotting. Like, Enki been plotting. And why I say that, because in the story of Enki and Enlil was like thrown basically by the primordial beings. And Enki and Marduk did not like that. They didn't like that at all. So that's what, for him to put Apsu in a sleep spell, kill him, and then take his place, it just seems like, nigga, you been plotting. All right. But he had no idea what chaos he had really stirred up with the primordial being Tiamat. So Tiamat, she was furious, like that. She was not messing with that. You killed her husband, and you know that's the person she created this, you know, universe, what she was creating with. So she created beings, demonic beings, are like monstrous beings, really, and creatures that she led to war against the Anunnaki. So the Anunnaki and Tiamat, after Apsu was killed, went to war. The Anunnaki automatically chose Marduk, the son of Enki, to fight against Tiamat with his contraptions. And this is what I'm saying. Who the fuck, he, like father, like son, who taught you these contraptions And why are y'all tricking people? Like, what? I'm still bamboozled. But let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Hold on. All right. Like father, like son. Like father, like son. That's Marduk. Oh, deadly ass. All right, anyway. They paint him as a benevolent, so that's why I'm on his ass, because I'm like, nah, y'all always paint y'all heroes as benevolent. I think something off here. When you really read it for yourself, you like, hold on. All right, like father, like son. Marduk, aka Baal. That's what it. When you search up, that's what you really see. But Baal, by when I was like studying Nuwapu, I was studying, and one of the mentors was showing that Baal and Baal and Baal, all of this has relation. If you look up, what do you call it? What is it called when you study the words? But y'all know what I mean. So I was like, all right, if that's true, why is Marduk named Baal? And we been in that same Nuwapu, they was telling me that Marduk was some type of savior. Like he was supposed to be our God. He was supposed to be, AKA Michael, the angel. So that's what confused me. I'm like, how he supposed to be the angel, and he want full dominion? But anyway, we gonna keep going. Marduk, AKA Baal, is known to be the Patreon god of Babylon. So Baal meaning Lord, and his name in Sumerian Amar Utu, meaning calf of the sun. So Baal mean Lord, the actual word when you search it up. But if you look up, that's what it is, the etymology. If you look up a deeper etymology of all these words, you will find out that these all have relation. All right, so Marduk has been compared and similarized to Zeus often. And that's something when I was reading all my own articles and stuff, and Wikipedia and all that, Zeus and Marduk, even when you search up Zeus and Marduk on their own, they really are similar. Marduk and his father Enki did not agree with the throning of Enlil, the brother deity to Enki, which I was like, they been hated. They been hating. Like, what? Y'all been didn't like that Enlil was getting thrown because he was an agreeable god. They say later on Marduk ended up, switching sides. You feel me? But for some reason, I feel like he's still disagreeable. And I'm going to tell you why. Marduk is depicted as an agreeable god, but from the looks of the storyline, he seems to be disruptive and jealous like his father, which is Enki. If I'm being completely honest and reasonable. All right. So that's background on Marduk. That's who Marduk is. We talked about the cosmic serpent. We talked about the Kundalini energy and where you could find that. We talked about the text that you could look at for the mythology, the actual text that you could look at, the Hinduism text that you could look at that's in actual ancient text that you could look at that's talking about a cosmic serpent. So we talked about all that. We all the way here talking about Marduk. We done learned about Marduk. Now we at the part where Marduk battles Tiamat after his father Enki killed Apsu, her husband. So Marduk kills Tiamat by encircling her with a net. And when I first looked that up, the net of Indria came up into my mind. And, we have ley lines on us, and there's another thing that I don't exactly know what it's called yet. But I was watching a very informational video, and it was basically like saying how we are, as a earth is encircled inside of a net. But I would have to do more research upon that, so that's why I ain't add that in here. He encircles her with a net, blowing her up with the winds, and then killing her with an arrow, splitting her body in two to create the heavens and earth. So he blew her up. He encircled her with a net, blew her up with the winds, killed her with an arrow, splitting her body in two to create the heavens and earth. Like, why do they go extra? Why do they OD? That's what I'm saying. Enki had to do all that to Apsu, trick him, put him to sleep, kill him, and take his spot. And Marduk gotta put her in the net, blow her up, do this. But then again, you know, she was going to war with them. But what? You killed her husband. I feel like, damn, you killed her husband. All right. So Marduk's requirements. Marduk said that if he was going to be the leader of the ancestors, the god, you know, if he was going to be the one to defeat Tiamat, he had to have absolute authority and he had to be named the king of the gods. Marduk said, if I'm going to do anything, if I'm going to defeat Tiamat, y'all need to crown me God, the king of the gods. And to me, I was like, damn, that's hella, that's like hella prideful, hella like, just, you feel me? Real just cocky and up your head, up your ass type shit. Cause why you wanna be the king of the gods? Why you can't just be you? And you did, you know, if you really was trying to defeat a being that got out of control, why you can't just, you know, be Marduk? I don't know, that's weird. So Marduk also created humans from the blood of the rebellious god Kingu. So he created humans from the blood of rebellious, so that means he helped. See, that's why I'm like, he's Zeus. This nigga is Zeus. Because what did Zeus do? He created humans from the blood of the rebellious god Kingu to serve the gods after killing Kingu as well. He killed Kingu and he took that nigga DNA and he created humans to serve the gods. So this lazy ass nigga didn't want to work. I'm just telling you the truth, for real. Marduk is exactly like Zeus. Zeus did, like, Satan, Zeus, they the same, bro. I'm trying to tell you. All right. So our next thing. Are the publishers. So are the publishers of historical events painting their disagreeable gods as saviors? From my own personal, this is all my own personal stuff, you know, and what I wrote and what I thought about all of this that I looked up. From my own personal observation and research, I've gathered enough information to suppose that yes, historians are associating rebellious gods with the trait of benevolence or the trait of duality or the trait of, you know, changing their mind or being able to change after doing so much fucked up shit. You feel me? So these younger rebellious gods portray the opposite energies in how they handled the primordial beings when they killed them. When they killed these primordial beings, these like younger gods, Marduk, Enki, really show they ass and really show how like mechanical they can get with their trickery, with their contraptions. So, you know, and it was like weird, you know, with Marduk specifically because he wanted to have absolute authority. And I'm like, you want to have absolute authority after defeating Tiamat? That's like power hungry. You already got the power after defeating her. Why do you want to be named? You know, and if that's if you rationalizing this, these are gods at the same time. But if you rationalizing this and try to logicize with it a little bit, these gods still are different aspects of yourself. So some I'm saying have to be a little bit relevant. All right. So think of it like this. Enki kills Apsu and takes his place, which doesn't sound right. It sounds envious and it sounds wicked to take somebody's place after killing them. And all of this that I'm saying is me determining that Marduk and Enki may be disagreeable, or because I already know Enki is the disagreeable being, but this is also like convincing me that Marduk been disagreeable and they paint him as benevolent or agreeable. So yeah. How is this connected to our DNA? All right. How is this connected to our indigenous DNA? All right. To start, the primordial beings and ancient and Anunnaki is a giant family with mixed genealogy. The DNA that is most active, either from the cosmic mother or sky god, Anu will determine a person's ability to interact with certain beings that existed before humans was created. What does this mean? This means that the primordial beings are our ancestors, and the Anunnaki, which is, us, the modernized indigenous black, Mexican, brown, and black people, right? Our DNA is mixed with disagreeable and agreeable Anunnakis. You either got Inky and Enlil, and sometimes you got both of them mixed with you. But it's like, it all depends on which one is dominant, which one is more dominant than the other. Like how they say which dominant gene is in the father or mother that gives you your looks, gives you your sounds. It's the same thing with the primordial beings that created us, and the Anunnaki, and all of these alien beings that they talk about. You feel me? It's just a family tree that we are mixed in with. And the Anunnaki basically, which is us, and we're descendants of these Anunnaki, these humans, because the Anunnaki, which is Marduk, Enki, created humans out of a different variation of Kingu, which is another like break off of this, but it's a giant family. So the very blood and genetic code that you have traces back to the cosmic serpent, meaning the Kundalini energy. All of your genetics trace back to the very being that made you, Tiamat, Miss Tiamat, the cosmic serpent, the Kundalini force, the interconnectedness. Let's remind y'all what she is and what she does. Primordial waters. We already know that water is connected to the spiritual realm, right? So she's primordial waters. She connects us to everything. She's everything, specifically the salt water. She's associated with knowledge, the fundamentals of life, meaning the beginnings of life, the very, foundation of life. The foundation of life is she's created life. And interconnectedness of all things, like everything is connected to one another and linked. So that's all that Tiamat did. That's the cosmic serpent. That's the Kundalini force. It's all in your energy. It's all in your blood. It's all in your brain. You can look up all of this inside of your body and locate all of the factions of this Kundalini force. It's all within you. So even though I'm telling this story and it seems like it's without you, all of these beings are within you. What I'm saying is all of these beings are in your DNA. And all of these, you have the capability of being either side of the story, but it's whichever DNA is most dominant, whichever mind, like, you decide to go with, whichever coding you decide to go with, because your mind is coded, and you can recode it, or it could be recoded, and that's where you get the matrix, the NPCs, because their mind has been recoded, you feel me, or decoded, or, you feel me? Like, they done broke their code down and remastered that shit. All right, so Tiamat, the primordial goddess who made us all, along with Absolute, they are our ancestors. And we are our ancestors' living avatars. That's basically what I was saying. We basically them. We basically all of them. And, you choose who you want to be. So your genes are the key. When everybody talking about, everything outside of self is the key. Oh, this door is unlocking. Oh, the planets align. All right, well, we're really talking about your genes, your body, your mind aligning. So your DNA is the key. That's what's really aligning. That's what's really unlocking, right? None of this stuff is outside of yourself. All of this stuff is within. So this is what the Kundalini forces is. And that's why a lot of people confuse it all. But if you stick to this Kundalini force and know that all of this is one and the same, you understand that you come to the point that it's in you, and you stop externalizing everything. You stop thinking that everything is not you. You stop getting scared of a fucking serpent. You feel me? Stop getting scared of and demonizing that shit because it's you. And if you run away from you so long, you just gonna keep being a vessel that's being used by other people, lying dormant, waiting to be awake. And all you gotta do is wake yourself up. Nobody else could wake you up. You could watch a million niggas videos. It's up to your mind to make it click. So the cosmic serpent dormant in your spine and brain, waiting to be recognized and activated, providing proof that the serpent is within you. All of this is you. All of this is you. All of those beings, that's your ancestors, you, these planets, that's all you. That's all you. You. Indigenous people, brown and black people, bro. All you. This is you. As crazy as it fucking seems, this is all you. All you. Bloodline. This the family. You got that one fucked up uncle or cousin that fucked you over. All you. That's crazy. You. Cosmic egg. This seemed like a womb. She's a female. She had an egg. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy that it's a reptile. Hey, I gotta look up if they, I actually got a question. Is they, like, if anybody know, do y'all know if, like, reptiles is, what is it, mammals? Or is they, like, they make eggs? What's the other thing called? If anybody know, comment that, because I want to know. But I'm going to also look it up, too. But, yeah. That's how we interconnected. That's how all this story, the cosmic serpent, the Kundalini force, Tiamat, Apsu, Marduk, Enki, and Enlil, how this story pans out. Sorry, that's pictures of me when I was a little kid, me creating a bully coalition when I was younger and shit. Stop the bullying. All right, y'all. That's the end of the presentation. Your girl is tired. I had a long day off of work. Got the next few days off. I got some more coming for y'all. I try to, and I do, drop every Sunday. I drop something every Sunday. I go live. I drop a video or a presentation for y'all that I made. Thank you to all the wise souls. Make sure y'all like, make sure you comment. At least give me that. You know, this took a lot of work. This took a lot of studying. At least give me, you know, a little bit of support. I ain't asking for no money. I ain't asking for nothing. I just want a subscribe, a like, some love, a comment. Let me know that you resonate with any of this. Even if you have things that you disagree with, we can still talk about that. We don't even have to, you know, go back and forth. We could just be having a dialogue about it and agree to disagree, period. You know, so if you found out information about this, you know things about this, tell me your input. Let me know, comment something. All right, peace, y'all.